Before we talk about the tattoos that can get you in trouble, let's take a look at their fascinating history. It is hard to tell where and how the art of bodying started, but the oldest example is of the mummy Otis. A body was discovered frozen in glacial ice in the Ötztal Alps at the border between Italy and Austria in 1991. While initially assumed to be the corpse of some unsuspecting mountaineer, the body was eventually found to be ancient, dating back to around 3255 BC. The mummy was named Otzi after the place of its discovery. Otzi died around 700 years before the building of the Great Pyramid of Giza began. Examination of the body provided a wide range of details, from his last meal to his origins to cause of death. He had been the victim of violence. But the most intriguing aspect of Otzi's legacy might well be a series of tattoos on his body. Dozens of markings and lines are carved over areas usually associated with acupressure, such as joints and spine, leading researchers to conclude that tattoos were not just done in the name of ornamentation, but were a primary form of medicine. 50 years ago, tattoos were a watermark for criminals and social outcasts, such as sailors, bikers, and carnival freaks. But today, the average sorority girl can be seen with a tattoo of a unicorn on her ankle or a butterfly flickering on her arms. But tattoos are a lot more than mere images on the body. For certain groups of people, tattoos have a special significance that makes some impression of the owner. So, if someone has a tattoo that doesn't match their personality or social status, it can be considered offensive. We want to keep you safe, so here's a list of some of the most dangerous tattoos in the world that can get you in trouble. Without further ado, let's get started. 18. Buddha. If you're thinking of getting a nice Buddha tattoo for some reason, then you should reconsider your decision. Getting the picture of Buddha tattooed on your body can get you in serious trouble when you're traveling in Buddhist countries. There are strict rules about it, as Buddha images and statues are considered sacred objects for worship in these countries. It is likely that any tourist who violates this rule will probably find themselves in the police departments of these countries. For example, in Thailand, it is highly inappropriate and offensive to the religious part of the population when tourists show up with such tattoos on their arms and heads. Therefore, it is completely forbidden to enter Thailand with a Buddha tattoo. 17. YAKUZA. YAKUZA is one of the most powerful and dangerous criminal gangs of the country. Therefore, only people who are part of this organization can get the related tattoos. Anyone who is seen with such tattoos and is not part of the gang will most likely face some unfortunate circumstances, so be aware. 16. Shamrock. You can actually get shamrock tattoos for luck, but under certain conditions. You should pay good attention, as getting 3 leaves tattooed instead of 4 will indicate that you're a member of an Irish criminal gang. So if a member comes across someone with such a tattoo and later realizes they're not part of the gang, then the person will have to go through some serious trouble. 15. 3 dots. This tattoo is used to indicate the same thing around the world. It stands for Mi Vida Loca, my crazy life. Although it might not depict specific details about the owner aside from the fact that the person broke the law or had any past criminal record. Obviously, if you never had any major trouble with the law, it's advised not to get this tattooed, unless you want trouble. 14. Stars. Getting stars tattooed might indicate various things, but mainly it has been associated with people who were in prison. The meaning of this tattoo changes depending upon the location of the tattoo. For example, stars on the shoulders represent respect and power, while stars on knees may indicate that the person will never succumb to anyone's will. People who have a connection with the criminal world find it offensive when someone gets these tattoos just for fun. 13. Rose, pierced with a dagger. This tattoo may seem romantic, but you'll change your perception once you get to know the real meaning. This tattoo was actually designed for people who went to the prison before they were adults. The rose with the dagger means that the person became an adult when they were already in prison. So if a person who has never been convicted gets this tattoo, it might end up in trouble due to a misunderstanding. 12. War-related and political tattoos. People who have tattoos associated with serious religious and political matters should be prepared to fight for their opinions at any time. In many countries, These body pictures are punished with fines and imprisonment, particularly if these tattoos offend the faith and ideas of the people of that particular country. 11. Tear. The tattoo of a tear under the right eye sometimes means that the owner has committed murder or has attempted to do so. A lot of people have this tattoo if a loved one is in jail for quite some time or has unfortunately died. This tattoo can only lead to problems in the case that someone gets it for fun, because people related to criminal gangs think that you have to earn every single tattoo. 10. Visible tattoos in Japan. Tattoos were first made illegal during the Meiji era in 1872, and although it is legally not against the law to have body art since 1948, there is still a big social stigma against tattoos in the country. Same is the case with Vietnam and South Korea. Because of the widespread association of tattoos with criminal gangs in Japan, they're sometimes banned in public bathhouses, swimming pools, gyms, and even some hotels. It is not unusual for shops and restaurants to turn away customers with prominent tattoos. 9. Islamic religious tattoos. Permanent tattoos are actually prohibited among the Sunni Muslims because many believe that tattooing affects God's creation and is thus a sin. Malaysia, with its Muslim majority, has shown opposition to tattoos that include religious symbols or iconography. In 2012, a promotional photo revealed Grammy-winning R&B singer Erykah Badu with the Arabic word Allah inked on her shoulders. The Malaysian authorities canceled her concert and forbade her to perform, calling her tattoo an insult to Islam and highly offensive. 8. Ganesha. We've all seen the picture of the elephant-headed Hindu deity, but sometimes those who don't belong to the Hinduism don't understand the real significance behind this art. According to Britannica, this is the Hindu god of beginnings, who is traditionally worshipped before any big endeavor. Ganesha's symbolism is significant in Hindu culture, not just something nice to tattoo, particularly if there's no association. 7. Snarling predator. Most of the world might equate a snarling predator with a bold, brave, and strong individual, but in the criminal world, people who have this image on their bodies essentially mean that they're inclined to violence and willing to commit a violent crime and do not feel guilty for it. So if you've got this kind of tattoo, you could get into some real trouble because the criminals might think you have to be deserving to earn this tattoo. 6. Cross on the chest. The tattoo of a big cross is too risky to have in Russia. This is the tattoo that the most violent criminals in Russia have inked on their bodies. It's very dangerous to have this tattoo for fun because if an experienced criminal recognizes it, the owner can be accused of lying. 5. Spiderweb. A spiderweb is a kind of autobiography amongst convicted people. It means they've been in prison for a long time and they've been battling drug abuse. One ring on the web represents a tough year of someone's life. This is how criminals recognize related individuals and have a really negative reaction to people who have these tattoos only because they like them. 4. Cards. Each playing card has its own significance in the world of organized crime. That's why a handful of cards can say a lot about a criminal, like the prison they've been in and how big of a gangster they are. If the purpose of the cards has nothing to do with the owner's existence, this could be perceived as a lie by some people. 3. Rings. Rings on fingers are the quickest and simplest way to know whether the owner was convicted and a known prisoner. Every ring highlights the strength of their authority and their experience. So if the former prisoner sees these tattoos made for fun, they probably won't like it because it violates their principles. 2. The 5-point crown. In the United States, the 5 points of the crown are the sign of the Latin Kings gang. They're one of the largest Hispanic gangs in and out of prison. It's clearly risky to have this tattoo just for fun. 1. Barbed wire. A barbed wire tattoo indicates an individual who was convicted. Each wire knot stands for 1 year in the prison. That's why when a law-abiding citizen gets this tattoo, ex-convicts will take it as an insult or even a joke. This could land the owner in serious trouble. You've just watched tattoos that can get you in serious trouble. Do you like getting inked? Tell us in the comments. We hope you liked the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.